first of all, good morning to all of you. By the grace of great mighty and great God, let us start with today's topic. Our today's topic is dual nature of matter. Okay, this is basically the beginning of the unit 3. What do you mean by dual? Dual means two. Dual means two. Okay, dual means two. Double. Nature of matter. Okay. So I will I would just start from the very beginning. I will start with the light. See, the light possesses dual character. Light possesses the dual character. Sometimes light behave as a wave, and sometimes light behave as a particle. Sometimes the light behave as a wave, and sometimes light behave as a particle. On the basis of when the light as a wave, we have explained the phenomena interference, diffraction, and polarization. Okay, because the phenomena interference, diffraction, and polarization can be explained only on the basis of when we consider the light as a wave. Because interference and diffraction is totally explained on the basis of the wave character of light, because that is based upon the superposition of light waves. When the light waves get superposed, we get a constructive interference and destructive interference. Similarly, the diffraction is also based upon the superposition of the wave. When the lights bend, and after bending of light, the superpositions of the light wave is there. Okay, and see, but when we consider light as a particle, we explain the phenomena of photoelectric effect, Compton effect, and black body radiation. Okay. See, Compton effect I think you don't have studied in your lower classes, but black body radiation and photoelectric effect you must have studied in your lower classes. Okay. What is photoelectric effect? This is given by the great scientist Albert Einstein, photoelectric effect, and he got a Nobel Prize for the photoelectric effect. What is photoelectric effect? Photoelectric effect is explained by the Einstein. Photoelectric effect is explained by the scientist Einstein by considering light as a particle. Because light is made up of light is made up of the photons. Light is made up of the photons, and energy of each photons is equal to h. Okay. So what will happen? It is basically the spontaneous emission of electrons. Where light of suitable frequency falls on some material. Are you getting the point? So this is the very important equation, the photoelectric effect. Hd is equal to work function phi plus half mv squared. Hd is the energy of the particle, energy of the light. By considering light as a particle, phi is called the work function. Work function means it is the amount of energy required to knock out an electron from its surface. And the rest of the energy will be given to the electron in the form of the kinetic energy. Are you getting the point? Let us say this is some surface. A photon is coming. This is Hd. What will happen? This is the surface of metal or material. Okay. When it will see, one photon will eject one electron. One electron. By considering light as a particle, not as a wave. By considering light as a particle, so what will happen? When this photon will be absorbed by electron, what will happen? It will knock out from the surface, and the rest of the energy will be imparted to the electron in the form of the kinetic energy. Let us say its energy is 10 electron volt, let us say. So out of 10 electron volt, 6 electron volt is required to knock out the electron from the surface. And the rest of the 4 electron volt will be given to the form of the kinetic energy. So 10 is equal to 10. This is a very beautiful equation given by the Einstein. This is called a photoelectric effect equation. Okay, this is a photoelectric equation. Okay, given by the scientist, and Einstein got a Nobel Prize for this. And this has been explained truly on the basis of when the light as a when we consider light as a wave. So it means light as a particle. Light as a particle. Photoelectric effect is explained when we consider light as a particle, but the above phenomena has been explained by the scientists by considering light as a wave. So this simply means that light possesses dual character. Light possesses dual character. Sometimes it behaves as a particle, sometimes it behaves as a wave. But at a point, at a one time, it behaves only one character. Either it will show the particle nature or it will show the wave nature. Two behavior cannot be shown simultaneously at same time. Okay, Lakshman, are you getting the point? This is not supposed to be happen. At a one time, only a single phenomena, only a one behavior can be shown by the light. Either it will show the particle nature or it will show the wave nature. Okay. So see, then what will happen? This is the scientist Louis de Broglie. He came forward in 1926. Then he says that nature loves symmetry. Nature loves symmetry. Nature loves symmetry. If light possesses the dual character, see, our universe is made up of the two things. One is matter and another is the radiation. Another is the radiation. Radiation means energy. Radiation means energy. Okay. Let's see our matter and radiation. Matter and radiation. Radiation means energy. Okay. See, radiation or wave. Radiation or light, you can say. See, as the light possesses, as the radiation possesses dual character, sometimes it behaves as a wave, sometimes it behaves as a particle. So the matter means, what is the matter? Matter means particle. Matter means anything which has a space and occupies volume is called a matter. Similarly, just as the light possesses a dual character, sometimes it behaves as a wave and sometimes it behaves as a particle. Similarly, matter also possesses a dual character. Similarly, the matter also possesses the dual character. This is the beauty of the nature. The nature of symmetry. So, matter possesses the particle nature. Matter possesses the particle nature as well as the wave nature. So, Louis de Broglie proposed that matter also possesses the dual character. Okay, matter has a particle nature. This is common thing. This is very easy thing that we understand. But how the matter will possess the wave nature? This is the story. This is the main story. This is the basic interesting story. So he said that matter also possesses the dual character. The way, see, when any particle moves, let us say we will take the example of electron. We will take electron is a particle. But when an electron moves, the wave is associated with the electron. When a particle moves, or particle is electron. When a particle or electron moves, what will happen? A wave is also associated with the matter or your particle. That the wave associated with the material particles are called matter wave, and that wave is called a matter wave. When an electron or a particle moves, then a wave is associated with the material particle. That is called a matter wave. So see, the matter has shown the dual character. Now matter is showing the wave character. Okay, because when an electron moves, a wave will get associated with it, and wavelength of that matter wave is called de Broglie. And the wavelength of the matter wave is called a de Broglie wavelength, which is given by lambda is equal to h by L. I think this is the expression you have done in the 10+2 class, and you have done this in 10+2 in the physics as well as in the chemistry class also. What is lambda? Lambda is the wave associated with the particle. What is h? What is h? Planck constant. What is m? Mass of a particle. What is v? Velocity of particle. What is v? Let us say this is particle. When it will move, what will happen? What will happen? This kind of wave is get associated wave, and this is called the matter wave. This is called the okay. So the interesting story is that the matter also possesses a dual character. Matter possesses particle nature as well as the wave nature, and this wave nature is given by the de Broglie. The wave associated with the material particle are called matter wave, and the wavelength of this matter wave is called de Broglie wavelength, given by the expression lambda is equal to h over mv. H is called Planck constant, m is called mass of particle, v is called velocity. Okay, this is how the representation of the okay, and out from this part. But the important point is that at a single time, one time, only a one kind of behavior can be shown. No two behavior cannot be shown simultaneously. Are you getting a point? This is the very important point. So you can write, you can pen down all the things on your copy. You can pen down all the interesting important points. Matter wave is also called pilot wave or guide wave. Okay. Matter wave is also called pilot wave or matter wave is also called a pilot wave or a guide wave. In the 2 marks definitions, you can be usually asked what is matter wave, what is pilot wave, what is a guide wave. These are non-electromagnetic. These are non-electromagnetic. And out from this part, Boltzmann, Kapaspa, Chiteka, Rabaj, Abraham.
So,
Yes.
the non-electromagnetic part, it applies to the particle nature of
Which one?
the non-electromagnetic part, it applies to its nature of light.
I'm not getting the point.
The non-electromagnetic character.
Last point.
Yeah,
Non-electromagnetic means it does not possess electric field and magnetic field. Electromagnetic means which have the electric field vector and magnetic field vector. But this wave does not possess electric field and magnetic field vector. This is the meaning of non-electromagnetic. Okay. Electromagnetic means, see, ordinary light is electromagnetic wave. Light is electromagnetic wave. This means that in this electric field and magnetic field, they are perpendicular to each other, and they oscillate in a direction perpendicular to the direction of the propagation of wave. But these are non-electromagnetic. It simply means that it does not contain the electric field vector as well as a magnetic field vector.
सर
Yes.
ये नॉन इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक है ना, वो वेव नेचर में भी और पार्टिकल नेचर में भी अप्लाई करता है।
क्या?
ये नॉन
Non-electromagnetic है।
हाँ, ये पार्टिकल नेचर और वेव नेचर बोथ में अप्लाई करता है।
पार्टिकल नेचर में क्या?
और वेव नेचर में बोथ, इन दोनों में अप्लाई करता है।
इनमें नहीं, ये एप्लीकेबल नहीं होती। नॉन इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक का सिंपल मतलब है कि इसमें इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की ऑसिलेशन नहीं है, सिंपली।
तो दोनों नेचर अंदर ये वेव नेचर और पार्टिकल नेचर
दोनों में
दोनों में
पार्टिकल नेचर में तो होगा ही नहीं ना। पार्टिकल नेचर में तो है ही नहीं कुछ, वो पार्टिकल है, समझा कि नहीं? Now let us do the next part. Calculate the de Broglie wavelength. Calculate the de Broglie wavelength of an electron. Calculate the de Broglie wavelength of an electron accelerated by a potential difference. Calculate the de Broglie wavelength of an electron. Calculate the de Broglie wavelength of an electron accelerated by a potential difference. I get your point. Accelerated. Well, first of all, please write. Calculate the de Broglie wavelength of an electron accelerated by potential difference. Okay. When electron is a particle, electron is a matter, electron is a particle. When an electron will move, what will happen? When electron will move, then a wave is associated with it, and that wave is called a matter wave. And we have to find out the wavelength of that wave. Okay. Accelerated by potential difference means we are giving electric field, we are giving a voltage, energy to the electron so that they can accelerate. Okay. This is for the non-relativistic case. For non-relativistic case. Non-relativistic case. Non-relativistic case means, non-relativistic means when the velocity of electron is very small as compared to the speed of light. Non-relativistic case. Non-relativistic case. When the speed of an electron is very small as compared to speed of light. This is the meaning of non-relativistic. That is, V is very small as compared to C. Okay. See, this is the meaning of non-relativistic. What is V? Velocity of electron is very small as compared to C, speed of light. This is the meaning of non-relativistic case. Okay. Let Q is the charge of electron and V is the accelerating voltage. V is the accelerating voltage. And this small v is velocity of an electron. Velocity of an electron. Okay. Now see what's the formula? See, it means when we are giving energy to the electron in the form of voltage, this is the QV, this Q into V, this Q into V is equal to the kinetic energy. Half mv square is called the kinetic energy of electron. then this kinetic energy is equal to Q into V. Q is the charge of electron, V is the voltage, accelerating voltage that is given on to the electron. So this is V. V is equal to square root of 2qV upon m. This capital V, this is a capital V. This capital V is the voltage. This small v is the velocity. Okay. 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 Now see, what is the wavelength formula? What's the de Broglie wavelength formula? The de Broglie wavelength is given by the de Broglie wavelength is given by lambda is equal to h over mv. This is called 1, this is called 2. Using 1 in 2. Using 1 in a 2. Equation 1. Okay. What I'm getting? What I'm getting? See, this is M1. I can write like this. Okay, I can write like this. This is m raised to power n. This is m raised to power 1 by 2. This is a formula. X raised to power m is equal to x raised to power n is equal to x raised to power m minus n. M raised to power m1 raised to power 1 by 2. This is m1 minus 1 by 2 is equal to m1 by 2. So we are getting h is equal to lambda is equal to h by n power 1 by 2 root 1 by 2 means square root. 1 by 2 is called means square root. So finally I am getting the equation lambda is equal to h by square root of 2 n q v. This is the wavelength of an electron. This is a de Broglie wavelength associated with the electron by a potential difference for non-relativistic case. Okay. Okay, watchmen. This is the de Broglie wavelength associated with the electron in the non-relativistic case. Non-relativistic case means speed of electron is very small as compared to the speed of light. Now the next numerical is, have you done it? Done it. Next numerical is calculate the de Broglie wavelength of thermal neutrons. Calculate the de Broglie wavelength of thermal neutrons. What's the charge of neutron? What's the charge of neutron? What's the charge of neutron? No charge. Neutrons means neutral. What's the charge of electron? Minus E. What is charge of proton? Plus E. What's the charge of neutrons? Zero. It means neutrons cannot be accelerated. It means neutrons cannot be accelerated by a potential difference. So please write 2 lines. The charge, see, please write, neutrons are the neutral particles. Neutrons are neutral particles, they don't have any charge. Neutrons are neutral particles, they don't have any charge. अगर उसके पास चार्ज नहीं है क्या हम उसको एक्सेलरेट कर सकते हैं? क्या उस पर पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव का कोई इफेक्ट होगा? नहीं होगा, हो जाएगी नहीं? So they cannot accelerated. So the neutrons cannot be accelerated by a potential difference. By a potential difference. So kinetic energy of neutrons is equal to the thermal energy. Kinetic thermal energy. This is called kinetic energy. This is called the thermal energy. What's the formula of thermal energy? KT. What's the formula of thermal energy? KT. Okay. Thermal energy. Thermal energy means the energy at the room temperature. Thermal energy means the energy at the room temperature. So we can say the kinetic energy of neutrons is thermal kinetic energy. This is the thermal kinetic energy. Okay. Then the kinetic energy is given as the thermal kinetic energy. What is T? This T is called temperature. This T is called the temperature. What is K? K is called Boltzmann constant. Boltzmann constant. And its value is equal to 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 joule per Kelvin. नहीं होता शायद. इसको चेक करना. ओके, यहाँ पे -23 या 28 है. आई थिंक 23 ही है शायद. ठीक है, इसकी वैल्यू. ठीक है. सी के टी. व्हाट आर द यूनिट्स ऑफ के? जूल पर केल्विन. व्हाट आर द यूनिट्स ऑफ टी? केल्विन. केल्विन कैंसिल. सो केटी मींस एनर्जी. केटी मींस एनर्जी. जूल आर द यूनिट्स ऑफ एनर्जी. जूल आर द यूनिट्स ऑफ एनर्जी. सो इट मींस okay, please check it. You can check for this. Okay. Now see, please, this will cancel. So mv square is equal to 3 kT. I want v. V square is equal to 3 kT upon m. So v is equal to square root of 3 kT by m. What's that? This is 1. Now what is lambda is equal to h by mv? This is called de Broglie wavelength. This is 2. Using 1 and 2, equation 2 becomes this will become lambda is equal to h by and this will become h by root m into root kt. सही कर रहा हूँ. यहाँ पे 3 kt आएगा. यहाँ पे भी 3 kt आएगा. यहाँ पे भी क्या आएगा? 3 kT. So final answer lambda is equal to h by root 3 m kT. This is the de Broglie wavelength associated with the neutron. Associated with the neutron. And is the mass of neutron. T is the temperature. K is called the Boltzmann constant. Yes. Okay. Now this is how we can calculate the de Broglie wavelength associated with the neutrons. So sometimes it can be asked in the exam, calculate the de Broglie wavelength of an electron for the non-relativistic case and calculate the de Broglie wavelength of a thermal neutrons or simple neutrons. Okay. Now I will tell you. See how when a particle moves, then a wave is associated with it. When the wave is associated with it, and that is called a matter wave. That is called a matter wave. So this is how. So when a wave will move, then it is very difficult to localize the position of a particle. Then it is very difficult to localize the position of the particle because particle can be anywhere. Particle can be anywhere. Okay. This is a monochromatic wave. This is a monochromatic wave. This is a particle. This is the particle. Okay. This is the position of the particle. So the particle can be anywhere. Particle can be anywhere. So the particle can be anywhere. As the time progresses, so the new theory proposed given by the scientist, he said that when a particle will move, rather than a single wave, a group of waves get associated with it. A group of waves get associated with it, and that group of waves is called it will form a wave packet. It will form a wave packet. It will form a wave packet. The concept of wave packet arises. The concept of the wave packet arises. So it means there is not a single wave. There is not a single wave associated with a wave. It is associated with a particle. Rather than there are number of waves. There are the number of waves associated with the particle that form a wave packet. That form a wave particle. Wave packet. So this is how. So this is the simple representation of wave packet. So the particle can be anywhere. Particle can be anywhere within the wave packet. But it is very difficult to localize the particle. It is very difficult to localize the particle because what is the uncertainty principle given by the Heisenberg? Heisenberg says that it is very difficult to measure the position and momentum of the particle simultaneously. If we measure the position accurately, then the momentum will get uncertain, and if we measure the momentum, then position get uncertain. Okay. So this is how rather than a single wave, a group of waves get associated with a particle, and it will form a wave packet. It will form a wave packet. So if we want to find out the particle, it means we want a probability. We want a probability. What's the probability that particle will here? Particle can be anywhere. Particle can be anywhere in the wave packet. But see, this is the maximum peak. This is the maximum peak. So there is a maximum probability that the particle should be there in this part. Okay. And at the edges there is a minimum probability. There is a less probability to find the particle. Okay. And in the quantum mechanics, whenever we have to define a particle, whenever we have to define the position of the particle, then we will define a wave function. We will define a wave function. Associated with the particle, that is called a psi. Psi is called a wave function. If we want to find out the position of the particle or a behavior of a particle, then we will define a wave function. This wave function simply describes the behavior of a particle. They simply define the behavior of a particle. So I think this is the end of the session here. Tomorrow we will continue this part. lecture. Okay. So tomorrow we will continue this. How this wave function. We will basically define this wave function and under the probability density. This psi into psi star, that is called the psi square. This is called the probability density. So this is called psi. This is called psi complex. Star means psi complex. Product of psi into psi complex is called psi square, and that is called the probability density. Probability density means it is a probability to find out the particle. Probability density means it's a probability to find out the particle in a given space, or in a given volume. So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for being with us. Tomorrow we'll continue this. Thank you.